In this lecture, we are going to discuss Python features. I think before 5 years, programming skills needed and knows only software developers. But current market requires different tools, and also programming skills are needed to all coding and not coding jobs. Here I repeat, the coding and non-coding jobs require the both different tools and programming languages. For that, there is a need of simple and easy to learn and also smooth development. There are requirement meets a Python. Due to this, the Python is booming different fields like artificial intelligence and big data mining and machine learning, data processing. The many areas Python is the booming. So now we are entering the Python features. So what is a Python features? First here, easy to read and easy to learn and easy to code, freeware, open source and high level, robust and interpreted and platform independent and portable and dynamically typed and supported to GUI and extensive libraries and some other advanced features in Python. So now easy to code and easy to read and learn very easily. Python is a high-level programming language and we can learn effortless without. Why? Because it is a very simple to learn and we can write very simple single line codes are available and we can read the code like a text commands, right? So here the Python is very simple. Why? Because it having very simple code. And advanced concepts and packages and modules and syntax are there, but it will take the part of very less time to compare other languages. The code is like a simple English and words. And here there is no semicolon and brackets, like there is only having indentations. The Python is follows indentations, right? So it is very easy to learn. So when see the code, we feel like a very simple and it is a readable form, but it is a very most powerful programming. So everyone can understood the Python code. Reading file is more easy and we can print just one line of code. Just to observe, so everyone can be easy to learn. So read the code and open file and print the statement. Just to observe, if in case these three functions everybody can be read something and open something and print something, right? But if in case we are observing these three functions, we are executing with a Python very easily. The single line of these functions, it will be executed very simply. But when we compare the other programming language, for you want to represent the read operations and open operations and print operation, definitely it requires the majority of code lines. But Python very simple. Just observe, if you want to print one line in one simple statement, right? So if you want to, suppose this is one file, this file is nothing but 123.x text file. This is a one text file and it contains some of lines. This file contains some of the lines. So right now I want to print these lines of code with the help of Python. Just you observe here, very simple one, print statement, print. Just you use the open method, open, and write a file name. File name is 123.txt with extension, right? Dot, and just you write read function. Just you observe here with a simple line. So everybody can be read this one. Print something from this text file, right? So here the same task when you are open with the Java and when you are creating the same task with a C++ and other programming language, definitely you should write couple of lines. Not a couple of lines, just at least you can write 20 to 30 lines for executing the same task. But with the help of Python, with a one single line of code, you can execute it. You understood? So this is nothing but the code less and development time is reduced. Python code is very less, but it will be executed very effectively. Means that just observe, code less and development time is reduced, cost of the project is going to reduce. That is the most thing. So here when the Python is follows, code reduced and development time reduced and project cost reduced. So this is a main advantage. So as per development point of view, it is a very advantage for developing our code, learning the code, and at a time the management point of view, the project cost is also reduced. Why? Because it takes a time for developing code, and only few lines of code to perform the complex task. Yes, the only few lines of code to perform the complex task. So it is expressive. The Python is expressive, right? The Python is easy to learn. Why? Because very simple code and simple syntax. So what? We can easy to learn, and also the complex code is we are performing with a less code. So it is a very expressive. So this is easy to learn. Next one more feature is a freeware and open source. Why it is a freeware? Why? Because we do not pay any much of amount to this Python. The Python is open source. It is a open source, no need to pay for license. So free cost license. So not for the learners, not, and also commercials, right? So learners and commercial purpose, the both people can be download and they can be use the Python with a free of cost. We can use source code of Python and you can modify it. Here one thing, open source in the sense free of cost. What is mean by freeware? So we can use the Python existing source code and we can customize that existing code for our requirement. For that, the Python is freeware. The Python is allow for, what is allows Python? Very simple, customization. It allows customization. Python source code can be customized, right, with our own requirement. For that, Python is freeware. So best example for this one, the Python is freeware because of there are plenty versions are available. So there is a Anaconda is there. Anaconda Python and Jython. Anaconda Python is for data processing and Jython is for Java application. We can run our Python in JVM platform. So that's why the Python is a freeware, right? Next example is that, next feature is that high level programming language. Python is a high level programming language. Why it is a high level programming language? First one is it follows object oriented programming principles. The next one, we can reuse the code. And one more, the Python can support object oriented programming principles and procedure oriented programming and scripting oriented. So here Python is OOP, object oriented principle program, and at a time it can be support for procedure and it can be support for scripting and it can be support for modular. So one program is supporting for both object oriented programming and procedure oriented, scripted oriented and modular oriented. So what? It is a high level and it is a high level. The next one is robust. The Python provides many libraries and these available to all. They can use customized as they required. Already we told that Python is a freeware. So we can customize existing source code. We can convert to our customization, our requirement. So what? It is a robust. That is, we don't want to write for basic tasks like other programming languages. Example, suppose image manipulation is one task is there. Image manipulation. Suppose when we are using Java is also is allowing for image manipulation and other programming languages also allowing for image manipulations and database connection and next one unit testing and many functionalities are available. But when you are using the Python, already existing source codes are available. Just you can use that existing source code and you can manipulate that. Not manipulate, you can customize that existing source code for your requirement. So what? The Python is robust. Why is it robust? We can customize our source code to our existing task, right? Next one, interpreted. So already we know that one, the Python is interpreted. It can be execute our code line by line. It can be executed our code line by line. So means not at all lines code at a time. So it cannot be run. Suppose your Python code is having 10 lines of code, it never run 10 lines of code at a time. Definitely it would be execute your code line by line only. So it is not required any compilation, and just you write your code and run code, right? So what is the advantage of this one? Write code and run code means not required any compilation, right? So like a Java, there is a Java C is a compiler, right? There is not required for any compiler, any other programming language like a C and C++. Definitely there is a Python is not required compiler. Just with the help of interpreter, it would be run our code. The next one, platform independent. Why the Python is platform independent? We can develop our code with the help of PVM. With the help of PVM is nothing but Python virtual machine. We can run our code any other operating systems, right? So this is our Python code, and you can run that code in different machines like a Windows and Linux flavors and Macintosh operating system, different type of operating system. But you minded that definitely you will be install here PVM. Without installation of PVM, that code never be run. So first you develop your code and install PVM on your particular operating system and just run that particular code. So that is platform independent. But you minded one, Python code is platform independent, and PVM is platform dependent. So our Python code is platform independent. With the help of PVM only it will be run. Means you can install your Python virtual machine in your operating system. Without installing this PVM on your operating system, your Python code never works run on particular operating system, right? It is a portable. One more feature is portable. Why it is a portable? So move the source code to our place. So our Python code can migrate our Python into any other machine. So what? It can be portable. So you are develop Windows, your Python code is developed on Windows and it will be run on other device. So what? It is a portable. Next one, it is a dynamically typed. Why it is a Python is a dynamically typed? Very simple. If you want to declare any variable, suppose a is a one variable and you can place here any value, means you can write here SRIKANTH. Otherwise in the same variable you can be write integer, and in the same variable you can be write float numbers. Then obviously the Python is dynamically typed, then they can be stored your data. So that is a dynamically. So not required to mention type explicitly. So means other programming language, just Java or C, any other programming language, just you can observe, you want to declare any variable, definitely you mention that is a int or float or whatever it may be. Suppose int you declare, it allows only numbers. It never allows decimal numbers. Even you are entered decimal numbers, automatically it prints the decimal value, numerical value only. Decimal value will be ignored. So definitely other programming language, you should mention the type mandatory. Forcefully you type the type of the variable. But Python is a dynamically typed. So what? You never mention the type of that. So more flexible to developer. The Python is more flexible to developer when compared with other languages to Python to other languages. Very simple. Python code is embedded into other languages. So even also it is a dynamically typed. Even also Python code is run in other areas, and other areas can be run in Python. That is benefit of this Python. Next one, supported for GUI. Yeah, obviously Python is offer GUI supports like a Thinker. There are plenty tools are available, right? So it to support for GUI, we can design like a web applications, like not only desktop application. GUI allows to fast development. One more feasibility is that with the help of Python we can develop very fastly. Next one, extensive libraries. Next feature is that extensive libraries. Python provides a number of libraries. Python provides a number of libraries and complex of we may write very easily. Means that the complex of code, complex situation, complex task, with the help of these libraries we can write very simple code. With the help of simple code we can achieve complex task also. So here we can develop both desktop and web applications. We can develop both desktop and web application and complex scientific and numerical applications. So with the help of these Python libraries we can develop desktop and web applications and complex scientific applications and numerical applications. And Python is for data analysis, and we can design for this Python big data and other machine learning applications and data visualization libraries and APIs presentation and artificial intelligence and natural language processing tasks. With the help of this many libraries for many tasks, different tasks, and Python having advanced features. Already we know that one, it having generators. With the help of generators we can create iterators and list comprehensions. With the help of list comprehensions we can create a list from other iterables. So it is a set or other anything we can convert to list. That is on one more advantage. And here automatic memory management, free memory of code. So actually the Python can occupy huge memory for creating a list, but with the help of automatic memory management like a free method and delete method, with the help of that methods it would be delete unwanted data. So now I want to revise this all feature with a few statements. The Python is easy to learn and easy to write, and easy to write our code. Why? Because it having simple syntax, and a simple syntax is nothing but it having code is like a simple English. And when compared with other programming languages, we can write a complex task into very easily simple line of code, and with that we can reduce the code and we can reduce the development time, and we can reduce the project cost. And it is a freeware and open source. Why? Because freeware in the sense we can customize existing Python source code for our requirement. That's what it's a freeware. And freeware, why? And open source. Why it is open source? We don't want to pay any much of amount to Python. If you want to donate the Python organization, you can donate, but it never charge. And it is a high level programming language. Python is a high level programming language. Python is a combination of object oriented programming and procedure oriented and scripting oriented and modular oriented. One language is supported for these all the things, and Python code can be reused. So what? It is a high level and it is a robust. Why it is a robust? We can customize the existing source code to our requirement, and we can use, with the help of existing libraries, we can do the image manipulations and database connectivity and unit testing very simple code. Next one, it is interpreted. Why it is interpreted? It is interpreted line by line code only executed. We can write code once and it will be executed. So it launches the application, its compilation takes more time, but it can be run very fastly. And next one, platform independent. Why? Because platform independent, you can write code anywhere and you can run your code in any machine, but you can install Python virtual machine on other programming where you want to execute your program. That device definitely having this Python virtual machine. Without having this Python virtual machine, that device can never execute your Python code. So what? Python code is platform independent, but Python virtual machine is platform dependent. So next one is Python portable. Why? Because you can develop your code at any device and you can run your code in any other device. So what? It is a portable. and dynamically typed. Why it is a dynamically typed? You never mention type of variable, type of argument. Automatically Python can convert your code. Best example for that, I can give one example here. With a Python, a equal 10 by 5, automatically it gives 2.0, and obviously it can give float values only, and 5 by 2 it can give you 2.5. When you are using Java or other programming language, you are declare int a. Suppose you are doing 10 by 5, it can give 2, and if you are doing 5 by 2, it can be give 2 only. Why? Because you are initializing the variable integer. And suppose you declare your variable float of a equal 5 by 2, obviously it can give 2.5. Suppose you declare int a equal float a equal 5 by 2 by 2, it can give 1.0. But in a Python, same thing you apply, a equal 2 by 2, it can give 1.0 only. It never gives integer value. Based on type, it will be different result it will be gives, but it is a dynamically typed. Why? Because we cannot mention type of the variable. The next one, support for GUI. We can design with the help of Python different type of applications, different type of web applications like a Thinker, JPython. So we can design different type of components, web components and others, gamings. So what? It is support for GUI, and it having huge libraries, number of libraries. So we can design desktop application and web applications and complex scientific applications and numerical applications and data analyst and many areas. It having different libraries. So what? It is extensive and advanced feature. It having advanced features like a list generator and list comprehensions and automatic memory management. So it is very powerful and the trending language and booming language. Why? Because only one thing, so non-coding people also can be learn this Python, but if you want to learn the Java, it is very difficult to learn non-coders like non-IT people. So Python is having more features. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.